The boss brought a cleaner to an important business meeting and was left speechless because the first rays of dawn were still shyly peeking over the city skyline when Clara Mitchell woke up. The small apartment she shared with her younger brother, Dean, was quiet, save for the soft hum of the heater struggling to keep them warm. Clara had always preferred these early mornings, the stillness before the city fully awakened. A brief moment of peace before the day's challenges began. At 22, Clara had faced more than her fair share of hardships. Orphaned at just 10, she had taken on the responsibility of caring for Dean, who had been wheelchair-bound since a car accident years ago. Their grandmother, Ruth, had done her best to support them in their small town, but opportunities were limited. Determined to provide a better life for her brother, Clara had decided to move to the city and pursue her dream of becoming a software developer. Her job as an office cleaner was a necessary stepping stone, a way to support her family while she worked towards her goal. She donned her uniform and stepped out into the crisp morning air, making her way to the office building where she worked. The city was a world apart from the small town she had left behind, bustling, impersonal, yet full of the promise of new beginnings. Clara's first interaction of the day was with Mr. Whitman, the elderly security guard who had always been kind to her. "Morning, Clara," he greeted with a warm smile. "How's the day treating you so far?" "Good morning, Mr. Whitman," Clara replied, returning the smile. "It's a bit early, but I'm getting used to it. How about you?" Mr. Whitman chuckled. "Another day, another dollar, you know. I've always admired your spirit. It's not easy, but you keep pushing forward." Clara appreciated his words. They were a rare source of encouragement in a job where she often felt invisible. She went about her tasks with practiced efficiency, determined to make the best of her situation. The office was just beginning to stir as employees trickled in, and Clara moved quietly, her mind occasionally drifting to her online programming courses. Despite the demands of her job, she was committed to learning software development through free online resources, eager to escape the cycle of menial work. Her thoughts were interrupted by a conversation she overheard between a couple of office workers. They were discussing the upcoming company event and the elaborate $2,000 dress that one of the employees, Elaine, had purchased. The details of the dress seemed to be a topic of fascination and envy among the staff. Clara couldn't help but feel a pang of longing. She had seen the dress in a boutique window and had admired it from afar, imagining how it would feel to wear something so elegant. The office environment wasn't always welcoming. Elaine, the secretary, had made her disdain for Clara clear from the start. Her cold attitude was often difficult to ignore, but Clara focused on her work and tried not to let it affect her. She knew that every interaction was a step towards a better future, even if it felt like she was walking on a tightrope. One day, as Clara was cleaning the reception area, she saw Mr. Baxter, the middle-aged owner of the firm, with his 13-year-old daughter, Nora. They were in the lobby talking animatedly. Nora's bright eyes and energetic demeanor were a stark contrast to the usual formality of the office. Clara smiled to herself, admiring the bond between father and daughter. It was a reminder of the family she had lost and the family she was striving to create a better future for. Her daily routine continued with a steady rhythm until the day came when everything changed. It started like any other workday, but by the afternoon, a commotion outside caught her attention. She stepped out to find a large, aggressive dog chasing a young girl, Nora. Without thinking, Clara sprang into action, her heart racing as she ran towards the scene. "Nora, run!" Clara shouted as she hurried to intercept the dog. She managed to get between Nora and the dog, using a broom she had found nearby to fend off the animal. It was a chaotic moment, with barking and shouting filling the air. But Clara's quick thinking and bravery ensured Nora was safe. Mr. Baxter arrived just as the situation was under control, his face a mix of relief and gratitude. "Clara, I don't know how to thank you," he said, his voice shaking slightly. "You saved my daughter. That's something I can never repay." Clara, breathless and shaken, waved off his thanks. "I'm just glad she's okay. It was a close call. Mr. Baxter's gratitude went beyond words. He wanted to do something special for Clara, something to show his appreciation. As the day wound down and the office quieted, Mr. Baxter approached Clara with a small, neatly wrapped box. "I want you to have this," he said. "It's not much, but it's a token of my gratitude." Clara opened the box to reveal the dress she had admired months ago. A $2,000 dress she had only dreamed of wearing. She was speechless, overwhelmed by the gesture. Mr. Baxter's kindness was a glimmer of hope in a world that often felt indifferent. As she left the office that evening, clutching the box with the exquisite dress, Clara couldn't help but think about how a single act of bravery had led to such a profound change in her life. Little did she know that this was just the beginning of a series of events that would transform her future and deepen her connection with Mr. Baxter. The city, once a daunting and impersonal place, now seemed full of possibilities. Clara's determination and the kindness she had shown were opening doors she hadn't even dared to imagine. As the weeks passed, Clara's life took on a new rhythm. The stunning $2,000 dress Mr. Baxter had gifted her remained a treasured reminder of the day she had saved Nora. But the real transformation was in her daily life. The dress was a symbol not just of gratitude but of the potential for change she had begun to see. Despite the gift, Clara's job as an office cleaner remained demanding. She still worked early mornings and had to navigate the sometimes unfriendly atmosphere created by Elaine, the secretary. Elaine's passive-aggressive comments and cold demeanor made Clara's days more challenging, but she pushed through, determined to keep her focus on her goals. One chilly morning, as Clara was cleaning the break room, Mr. Whitman, the elderly security guard, struck up a conversation. "You've been working hard, Clara. I see you staying late sometimes. What's driving you?" Clara paused, wiping down the counter. "Just trying to make a better life for myself and Dean. I'm taking online courses in software development, but it's tough to juggle everything." Mr. Whitman nodded, his expression one of genuine concern. "I've seen you working on those courses during your breaks. Keep at it. You've got the determination that counts for a lot." His encouragement was a small but meaningful boost. The challenges were mounting. Clara had suffered a back injury while working at a warehouse before moving to the city, which had limited her job options. She had been advised to avoid heavy lifting, a restriction that had pushed her into the janitorial role she now held. Despite the setback, Clara's spirit remained unbroken. She continued to work hard, always thinking about her brother Dean. He was adapting to his new life in the city, and Clara was hopeful for better opportunities for him too. They had moved into a more accessible apartment thanks to Mr. Baxter's support, and Dean had started attending a special school that could cater to his needs. Then came an unexpected twist in Clara's story. Mr. Baxter approached her one afternoon with a request. "Clara, we have a critical meeting tomorrow. Elaine is out sick, and we need someone to step in as a temporary secretary. I know it's a big ask, but you've impressed me with your observations and dedication." Clara's heart skipped a beat. This was a chance to prove herself in a different role, to show her skills beyond cleaning. "I'd be honored to help," she said, trying to hide her excitement. The next day, Clara found herself in the middle of the boardroom, surrounded by executives and key clients. Her nerves were palpable, but she managed to stay composed as she took notes and assisted with the meeting. She couldn't help but reflect on how far she had come, from being an office cleaner to stepping into a role that required more responsibility was a significant leap. Throughout the meeting, Clara's sharp observations and quick responses did not go unnoticed. Mr. Baxter, who had been observing from the sidelines, was clearly impressed. After the meeting, he approached her with a smile. "You did an excellent job today. I think you have a knack for this. If you're interested, I'd like to discuss some possibilities for you." Clara was taken aback but thrilled. "Thank you, Mr. Baxter. I'm definitely interested." Later that day, as she was cleaning the office, Elaine approached her with a more subdued attitude. "I heard you did well today. Maybe there's more to you than I thought." Clara offered a polite smile. "Thank you, Elaine. I'm just trying to make the most of every opportunity." As Clara prepared to leave the office, Mr. Baxter called her over. "Clara, I wanted to let you know that I've arranged for you and Dean to have a bit of extra support. Mr. Whitman has been a great help, and we've arranged for Dean to have additional assistance with his schooling." The gesture was another reminder of the support system Clara was slowly building in the city. Mr. Baxter's assistance and Mr. Whitman's ongoing encouragement made the challenges seem more manageable. As Clara walked home that evening, she felt a renewed sense of hope. The city was still a place of struggle, but it was also a place where her hard work and determination were beginning to pay off. The unexpected opportunity to step in as a temporary secretary was more than just a chance to prove herself. It was a sign that her efforts were being recognized and that new doors were opening. Clara's life in the city continued to evolve, marked by a series of small but significant victories. Her role as a temporary secretary had ended, but Mr. Baxter's recognition had paved the way for further opportunities. With Mr. Baxter's encouragement, Clara began to feel that her hard work might finally lead to the breakthrough she had long hoped for. Her relationship with Mr. Baxter grew warmer, and their interactions became more frequent and personal. Mr. Baxter, now more than just her boss, was becoming a confidant. Clara appreciated his support, especially after the challenges she had faced since moving to the city. One afternoon, Mr. Baxter invited Clara to his office for a meeting. "Clara, I've been thinking about your potential," he began. "I've seen your dedication and skills. How would you feel about taking on a role that involves more responsibilities? I'd like to offer you a position as an assistant in the software development department." Clara's eyes widened with surprise and delight. "Are you serious, Mr. Baxter? I would love that opportunity." Mr. Baxter nodded with a reassuring smile. "I believe you've earned it, and besides, it aligns with your goals in software development. This could be a great way to bridge the gap between your current role and your aspirations." As she began her new role, Clara found herself immersed in the world of software development. It was challenging but invigorating. She was finally able to apply the knowledge she had gained from her online courses in a professional setting. Her dedication did not go unnoticed, and since she was working closely with the development team on various projects. Despite the professional progress, her personal life continued to throw its challenges. Clara's younger brother, Dean, was adjusting to his new special school, and Clara was deeply involved in ensuring he had the best support. The extra help from Mr. Baxter had been invaluable, but Clara remained vigilant, ensuring that Dean's needs were met. One evening, as Clara was preparing dinner, she received a phone call from Mr. Whitman. "Clara, I just wanted to check in. How's everything going?" "Hi, Mr. Whitman," Clara replied, her voice warmed with gratitude. "Everything's going well. Thanks to your support and Mr. Baxter's encouragement. I'm really enjoying my new role." "That's great to hear. I've seen how hard you've been working. Just remember to take care of yourself too," Mr. Whitman advised. "Thank you, I will," Clara promised. Later that week, as Clara was heading home from work, she ran into Elaine. Elaine's attitude had softened significantly over the past few weeks, and she approached Clara with a more genuine demeanor. "Clara, I wanted to apologize for how I treated you before," Elaine said, her voice sincere. "I've seen the effort you put into your work, and I respect that. I'm glad things are going well for you." Clara was taken aback but appreciated the gesture. "Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate your words." As Clara settled into her new role, she found herself reflecting on her journey. From struggling as an office cleaner to stepping into a role in the software development department was a remarkable change. It was a testament to her resilience and the support of those around her. Despite these advancements, Clara's journey was not without its trials. The pressures of her new responsibilities were substantial, and balancing work with family commitments remained a challenge. Yet the encouragement from Mr. Baxter, Mr. Whitman, and the gradual improvements in Dean's schooling provided a source of strength. One day, Mr. Baxter approached Clara with a thoughtful look. "Clara, I've been meaning to discuss something with you." There's a significant project coming up, and I believe you'd be perfect for it. It's an opportunity to take on more leadership and visibility in our department. Clara's heart raced with anticipation. I'd be honored, Mr. Baxter. What's the project about? Mr. Baxter smiled. I'll fill you in on the details soon. For now, keep up the excellent work you're doing. You're great. As Clara left the office that day, she felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The project was a big step forward, but it was also a chance to prove herself further. She knew that each opportunity she seized brought her closer to achieving her dreams and securing a better future for her family. The road ahead was still filled with challenges, but Clara was determined to face them with the same resilience and hope that had guided her thus far. Each step forward was a testament to her strength and the unwavering support of those who believed in her. As the weeks went by, Clara threw herself into the new project Mr. Baxter had assigned her. It was a high-profile initiative aimed at developing an innovative software solution, and the stakes were high. The team was counting on her, and Clara was determined not to let them down. The project was demanding, but Clara thrived under the pressure. She worked late nights and early mornings, driven by a sense of purpose and the desire to prove herself. Her efforts did not go unnoticed. Mr. Baxter frequently praised her hard work and creativity, and the project began to take shape beautifully. One evening, while Clara was at home, she received a call from Mr. Baxter. Clara, could you come by the office tomorrow? I want to discuss something important with you. Clara's heart skipped a beat. Of course, Mr. Baxter. I'll be there. The next day, Clara arrived at the office, her mind buzzing with anticipation. Mr. Baxter greeted her with a warm smile. Clara, I'm very impressed with your work on the project. You've shown exceptional leadership and dedication. Clara beamed with pride. Thank you, Mr. Baxter. It's been a challenging but rewarding experience. There's something I'd like to do for you, Mr. Baxter continued. I know how much you've sacrificed and how hard you've worked. I wanted to give you this. He handed her a beautifully wrapped box. Clara opened it slowly, her eyes widening as she saw a stunning designer dress inside. It was the same $2,000 dress she had admired but could never afford. Tears welled up in her eyes as she looked at Mr. Baxter in astonishment. I can't believe this. Thank you so much. This is too generous. Mr. Baxter smiled warmly. You deserve it, Clara. Your dedication has been remarkable, and this is just a small token of our appreciation. Clara thanked Mr. Baxter again, her heart full of gratitude. The dress was not just a beautiful garment, it was a symbol of her journey and the support she had received along the way. As the project neared its completion, the success was palpable. The software was a hit, and Clara's contributions were celebrated by the entire team. Her reputation in the company had soared, and she was now seen as a rising star in the software development world. The positive changes extended beyond her professional life. Mr. Whitman, who had become a close friend and confidant, continued to support Clara and her family. He often visited, bringing laughter and encouragement. Clara's grandmother, Ruth, had also adapted well to city life and enjoyed a newfound friendship with Mr. Whitman. Dean, Clara's younger brother, thrived in his special school. He had made friends and was excelling in his classes, thanks in part to the supportive environment Mr. Baxter had helped create. Seeing Dean happy and progressing was a source of immense joy for Clara. As for Clara and Mr. Baxter, their professional relationship had naturally evolved into something more personal. They spent time together outside of work, getting to know each other better. Their connection deepened, and they both realized that their feelings had grown into something special. One evening, as they walked through a park, Mr. Baxter took Clara's hand in his. Clara, I've admired your strength and determination from the very beginning. I've come to care for you deeply, and I want us to explore where this might lead. Clara smiled, feeling a rush of warmth. I feel the same way, Mr. Baxter. I'm excited about what the future holds. Their journey together was just beginning, but it was clear that the bond they shared was built on mutual respect and love. Clara's resilience and kindness had not only transformed her own life, but had also created meaningful connections and new beginnings. As Clara looked back on her path, from struggling as an office cleaner to becoming a respected member of the software development team, she felt a profound sense of accomplishment. Her journey was a testament to the power of determination and the impact of genuine support. With a brighter future ahead and her family by her side, Clara was ready to embrace whatever came next, knowing that she had the strength to face any challenge and the love to guide her through. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe for more awesome stories like this. Stay blessed and healthy. Thank you for watching and see you in the next story.